Memorial Day weekend is a historically violent time in Chicago, and this year that violence came just days after the city's big summer safety plan announcement.
Here's a look at the numbers from Chicago police. From Friday evening to late last night, there were 42 shootings with 53 victims. 11 of them were deadly, and there was one deadly stabbing as well. So how are city leaders responding, and how did the safety plan go on the first weekend? Our Tara Molina is asking those questions tonight.
We saw the increased police presence promised by our city leaders, especially downtown, on the lakefront, and across our city's public spaces. But was it enough? We're asking public safety officials. Sunshine and blue skies. It was a beautiful holiday weekend for the city. But unfortunately, there was an undercurrent setting Chicago's records: violence. With 53 people shot this holiday weekend, 11 killed, one person stabbed to death.
You can't look at a bloody weekend like that and call it a success. We have a lot more work to do. A lot of the programs that we're talking about right now take weeks, if not years, to really show an impact.
Downtown Alderman Brian Hopkins is chair of the City Council's Public Safety Committee, a role he says he's serious about heading into summer.
The safety plan is a living, breathing document.
Telling us lessons were learned this weekend, and city leaders will continue to adjust the plan. Part of it that worked: Chicago police officers covered the city. With one day off and vacations canceled, they worked overtime to keep the city safe. Hopkins said the police preparation to cover beaches, especially after the shooting on North Avenue Beach Friday, was a standout this weekend. They were ready, and he says the captains and lieutenants in the field made a big difference, something they'll remember moving forward. As for the 30 peacekeepers, outreach workers, announced by the governor's office and dispatched across the city,
They were out there. That's about all we know right now.
Hopkins says city officials aren't aware of exactly what those 30 workers accomplished quite yet. But that will change too, since they're going to be at work through the summer.
We're spending the money on this, and that's fine, but we have to make sure that the money is well spent, and that requires some careful monitoring, and it requires an extra measure of accountability.
I reached the governor's office about those peacekeepers and what difference they made this past weekend, what work they did, and what impact they made. If we hear back from the governor's office, we'll update this story online. Reporting on the lakefront, I'm Tara Molina, CBS 2 News.
And just in the last few hours, Mayor Johnson released a news statement calling this weekend's violence intolerable, saying in part, "I am committed to leveraging every single resource at our disposal to protect every single life in our city." He thanked law enforcement and community leaders for doing their part, saying, "We have much more work to do, but the work performed by these individuals this weekend is the foundation for how we will ultimately secure safety together."